It's the Full-Time Devils live fan phone in. If you want to get in touch today, get your opinions across, you can do. Just give a call to the number that is on screen right now. My name's Gaz Drinkwater. I'm in for Joe today while he's on his jollies. I think he's in Spain somewhere. Joined today by two absolute legends. Jay's here, Webb is here. We're here to discuss Man United for the next half hour. Where else would you rather be? We're coming from the centre of Manchester, and make sure you give us a call to get your opinions across today. Anything we say, if you think, massively disagree with that, or yes, he's absolutely bang on, give us a call, have a chat to us about it. The number is on screen now. Right, guys, there's loads of stuff I wanted to discuss today. Transfer window shuts in a week, which was news to me, I'll be completely honest. I was a little bit like, what? And also, Anthony Martial, he's all over the papers at the minute. I feel like it's being blown out of proportion in some sections of the media, but I'm interested to see what you guys say. So you know what? Let's start with Anthony Martial now. Obviously, he had to leave the tour because his girlfriend was about to have a baby. Pretty standard. Everyone thought that was fine. Then Jose Mourinho came out with some comments saying that he should be here on tour, which was a little bit confusing for everyone. And now there's even rumours that he might actually be getting fined by Man United, which seems bizarre to me. Webby, what have you made of it all?
I think he's been rather stupid, some of the stuff what the press have written about it, Obviously he's left the tour to go on with his girlfriend. Apparently she had some problems, the baby's fit and healthy, she's okay. Get back to your job, we give you time off. But the noise was made 3 or 4 weeks before the tour, obviously. Martial never got in the French World Cup squad, he must be kicking himself. A nice little medal there on the baby's neck now, which didn't happen, so... If he wants to leave, then I'll be gutted. But we've had bigger and better players leave the club and we'll survive. If he wants to get his head down and knuckle down and fight for the place, he's good enough. We know he's got the talent. But has he got it in him to fight for it? I don't think he has personally. Let's get 80 million from him, let's move on. If he doesn't want to stay, then we wish him all the best.
What's he done to make you think that, though? What's he done to make you think
I just think
he's not...
some of his performances last year. Now, I do understand that, obviously, after Sanchez come in, his game time was lacking. But when he come in for the matches, he didn't impress for me. Your Bournemouth away, your Brighton away, didn't seem interested. Got with the French squad, which was very upsetting to him, because we know what he can do. But when he's had the chance, he's not done it, when he might be sulking a bit. And I'd love him to stay. Will he stay? I can't see it, but let's see what this transfer window brings him when it shuts.
Jay, those Mourinho comments, I don't know, I sort of feel like they may have been misconstrued a little bit by certain people, but you tell me what you think.
I know the comments were like, he's had this beautiful baby, but now he should be back with us.
Yeah,
it depends on how you look at it. I mean, it's weird with Martial because everyone's he's such a divisive character. You've got like the whole Martial FC mob, as they're called, and then you've got people who've just had enough of it all. It's becoming a bit of a circus. And I know I've got a lot of stick for saying this on Twitter, but I'm sort of in between. I want to see him fight for his place. I think he is a class player. I think some people overrate him a little bit because of that first season, especially that debut against Liverpool where he came on and scored what was more or less the winner, or the one that sealed the 3 points. All the stick he was getting, how much we'd paid for him and all the rest of it, and he exceeded expectations for a lot of people. But then he sort of fell down the wayside a little bit, and he's not been helped by the change of system, moving around as well. But he hasn't quite got to the level that he's capable of. I mean, Newcastle away is one that sticks in my mind as well. And the thing with Martial is, even when he's banging in goals, he still looks miserable a lot of the time. He just looks one of them people that's got a bit of a demeanour that looks like he's not happy. But I just want to see him knuckle down and get on with it. And I think there is a good player there. And what worries me is I think we're keeping him for maybe the wrong reasons. Like, he doesn't want to be here, but we don't want to let him go in case he goes somewhere and does a job there, because we've seen Mourinho get a load of stick for what happened with De Bruyne and Salah, and I don't think it's the same situation. But I think if he does want to leave and he's not interested at all, then you have to get rid. But I'm hoping that he's proud enough to fight for his place, because I think if he plays as well as he can, he'll be in every single starting 11 for United. There's no doubt of that. It's just we've not seen the best of him for a little while.
Right, we've got Prashu on the phone now to talk about Anthony Martial. Prashu, are you there, mate?
Yeah, I'm there. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, good pal. Very good, mate. Is there anything you want to say to the guys?
Hi guys. I always enjoy your shows.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're doing a great job. And thank you for the...
Oh, we got you. You still there, Prashu? We've lost Brashew, gutted.
Just getting good then as well.
He was about to get some points in about Anthony Martial. Listen, if you want to give us a call, you can do. We've got the number on screen. Get in touch if you think we're talking absolute nonsense about Martial or you think we're absolutely bang on. Get in touch either way. One thing I want to say, and I know that people will want to get in touch over this because I know people will be like, Gaz, you're some blind Mourinho lover and you're talking absolute nonsense. But those comments, I think they've been completely misconstrued by everyone because what he said about Anthony Martial was that he's gone to have this baby, beautiful baby, it's healthy, thank God, but now he should be here and he's not. Now, some people have took that as Jose saying Martial should be here, he shouldn't be at home. I think Jose was sort of saying, like, he should be here, as in he would be here under normal circumstances.
Do you know what, though? It's getting like pantomime season. I'm going on Twitter or whatever and seeing people talking about paternity and how much paternity you get and whether, when I was off of paternity, I took 10 days and he's entitled to that. And no, he's not. He's a footballer and he should be back. And Morata had twins and he was back the next day. And what am I reading here? What are you on about? Everyone's different. Webby mentioned then that his missus might have had a bit of a difficult pregnancy. I don't know about that, but I'll take your word for it. So you don't know, the circumstances are different. What matters is the fact that when he does come back eventually, does he want to be here? It doesn't matter whether he's off for 10 days or 2 days. When he comes back, has he got the right attitude? That's what we need to find out because, as you mentioned, there's not a long time left in the transfer window. Yeah. So if he is going to move, he's going to have to move quickly.
Has he not returned back today training? I don't know. He's supposed to be back. He put a tweet out, didn't he, saying on the way back to Manchester.
I'm not sure if he's back today, but you'd think he'd be back soon.
Well, if he wants to play for the biggest club in the world, he should be back now. He's had enough time off. The baby's healthy. The mother's healthy. He's happy. Now, if you want to stay with the biggest club in the world, show something, because if you leave United, you're only going one place, you're going down. So it's up to the kid what he wants to do now.
Got a couple of people on the phones. We're going to chat to Jamie, who wants to talk about the youth system in a bit. First, though, while we're on the topic of Martial, I do want to go to Cam real quick. Cam, you want to talk to the guys about Anthony Martial, right?
Yeah, and Mourinho, mate. What it is like, I totally disagree with Webby there, like, no disrespect. I think he's come out and he's attacked him personally. And his missus, basically, I think she had a blood flood transfusion. She was ill, basically, really ill.
Had to go.
And basically, that was the main issue, wasn't it? He said, look, my family comes first. And Mourinho's come out in public, attacked him. And he's doing the same old stuff now as well. He's attacking our youth players. He's saying, I don't know why anyone would come and pay for this. I just genuinely think it's time to go.
He was fishing. Don't worry about that. And Jose knew what was going on. Obviously, if you look at the tour, a couple of my friends have got on the tour, and I said to him, you don't want going on tours after a major tournament. If you want to see our best players, you wait in between. And my mate's been texting from America. He's rubbish. He wants to go. He's not as good as him. Why is he not here? I said, because he's been a major tournament. You go next year, you're getting all the big hitters. So you got to give and take a bit. And I thought some of the performances by the young ones, he did well. Look at Pereira.
Yeah, he did.
Absolutely. They have. But the other thing which I don't understand is, like, now, like, this is just what I don't get about the guy. Like, all right, then, they're not backing him in the transfer window. He's just constantly got his head down, looking gloom. And, like, the players, the fans, he's supposed to be the head of our club. When you're looking for a bit of inspiration, like, give us a bit of a boost. It's just doom and gloom. And, like, when's Martial? Oh, I don't know. So if you don't know, who knows?
What you said then, mate, about him criticising Martial and his family, what exactly are you referring to there?
Basically, he said he had the kid, he's had a beautiful baby, yeah? Mm-hmm. But now, he should be back here, yeah? Which, okay, that's fine. But he didn't say, like, his missus had a I don't know what the ins and outs of it, but his missus was ill. That's the whole reason why he didn't come out. He said, look, family comes first. I don't think, he doesn't like Martial, does he? That's all there is to it. I'm pretty sure if that was Sanchez's missus having a kid, and his missus was a bit ill, I don't think he would have come out and done that.
I get what you're saying, right? But I don't think we can get rid of the manager because of comments he's made on a pre-season tour. I think that's bonkers. To be honest with you, I think we've got to at least give Mourinho at least at the bare minimum until the January transfer window. I mean, personally, I'd give him a full season at least. But I think you can't go getting rid of the manager now just before the start of the season. And if he has had a little fallout with some of the players, then they've just got to resolve it. And the players like Martial and other players who perhaps aren't getting on with him, they've either got to knuckle down or move on. But I think now we've got to stick with Mourinho. We've got to at least back him for this season. You've got to
sack him, so that's the word,
I think getting rid of the manager now would be a massive mistake.
What, a week before the season?
Excuses before a ball's even been kicked. Do you know what I mean? It's not like the end of the season. You just know what's going to happen. We're going to lose a few games. Yeah, I wanted this player. They wouldn't back me. I wanted this player.
Has he got a case, though? Because, I mean,
we're the biggest club in the world.
We've finished 19 points behind City. And we've bought Fred, Diego Dalot and Lee Grant. Is that enough? Do you think that's enough?
No,
Well,
nowhere near enough. Do you tell me? I think the board don't want to back him because they think this is his last year.
Well, you either back him or you sack him. You know, there's no point having him there.
The thing is, if Mourinho comes out and says, "Oh, we've had a fantastic pre-season, we've got all the signings we need, and we're going to challenge for the title," everyone would say he was deluded.
If you look at Van Gaal's pre-season when we won every game, we blew Real Madrid off the park. We got beat home against Swansea.
Oh yeah, we lost what? We took like 10 points out of the first 10 games or something stupid.
It's a good point what you've made then, though, Jay. Like, everyone's having a go at Mourinho for being like negative and being moody. But if he was coming out dead jolly, dead happy with how our summer's gone, people would be like, "What you on about? We've not signed enough players."
Yeah.
Not, you know,
You can't win. You can't.
I feel like
we've got to back him. We've got to back him.
We're the only team in the whole world that only had players in the World Cup, haven't we? Every single team, top team, had their players that ain't coming back till this week. But why is it like he always has to point to that? It's Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, City. They've all had players out that are coming back now.
But he has praised players, hasn't he? Didn't he say that Rashford and Jones have come back early? He's not just using a stick; he's using a carrot as well. And he has praised certain players.
They didn't even get on the pitch. So what's all that about? Against, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that on pre-season though, we can't really judge on who's getting like minutes because a lot of the time it's all just to do with fitness.
Don't worry about pre-season. All I'm concerned about is next Friday at Old Trafford when I'm sat in my seat at 8 o'clock.
Right, we got loads of people on the phone,
man.
but thanks for calling, mate. Always appreciate your opinions, no matter what they are. Who else is on here? Jamie's on here too. Are we going to get a bit of positivity from Jamie? Jamie, you want to talk about the youth system, so I'm going to say potentially not.
Well, you know, first of all, yeah, I'm going to give you a bit of positivity, right?
Go on.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Webby.
Hello, good evening, Jamie.
Yeah, man. So basically, the guy previously just saying about Mourinho being miserable. Well, I mean, aren't we all miserable? I'm miserable.
I am so, Jay.
I'm miserable with Fred Dello and Lee Grant too. So, you know, and he's the one that is his neck on the line, not mine. But what I wanted to say, why I phoned in today, right, was about Manchester United's youth system. Now, this is going to be a controversial statement I'm about to make, but we all talk about class of 92 and all this stuff, right? What have we done since 1992, right? We've had Ravel Morrison. Everyone says he's a flash in the pan. He ain't done anything. I don't care if it's his attitude problem, but who cares? We've had Adnan Januzaj, who scored 2 goals against Sunderland. I can't remember anything else. We've had, who else have we had? I think Fletcher come through the youth system. We've had Ryan Shawcross. I mean, we've had Tom Cleverley.
Pogba.
We've had McTominay. We haven't really had anybody who's a world
Marcus
beater.
Rashford.
Jesse Lingard's
Jesse
good.
Lingard.
Rashford hasn't proved anything yet, to be fair. He hasn't proved his consistency and he can't finish.
Well, mate, he's 20 years old, mate. Come on now, he's 20 years old. He's just got through to the.
I'm not picking on Rashford, to be fair. Jesse Lingard's come good, but what I mean is, in the grand scheme of things, you name me a world beater we've produced since the class of 92, and we haven't.
Paul Pogba.
Right or wrong?
Paul Pogba. He's literally just
the
World
Cup winning midfielder who absolutely dominated the
Paul,
final. Is he not world class?
Paul Pogba. Yeah, Paul Pogba. Okay, fine. I'll give it that one.
Other than one of the best midfielders on the planet.
Yeah.
What have the Romans done for us?
No, I can understand his point of view.
The thing is, though, the class of 92 was a bit of an anomaly, wasn't it?
If you look now, the class of 92 was a one-off. It'll never happen again.
You won't get that again.
Never happen again. Because teams are scared now. Ferguson realised how good he was. What manager's going to throw 4 or 5 in?
Another manager couldn't get away with that. Only Fergie could do that.
Compare it to Barcelona. Compare it to Real Madrid. Compare it to Southampton.
We've got some cracking kids.
I get your point, though, but what you forget is a lot of these clubs, you look at Real Madrid, you look at Barcelona, even the youth system, it's not actually all the time. It's not a youth system. They buy up young players.
Correct.
They buy in like the 16 or 17-year-olds. It's not necessarily... it's not necessarily they've got a wonderful youth system. It's they'll go out... we're seeing it at City a lot of the time. They're buying the 17, 18-year-olds, and they'll just loan them all out. And one or two who they think are decent enough do it. Chelsea have been doing it for years.
Yeah.
They do that as well. I think United, no matter what we say, I get what you're saying.
We've got some great kids.
We've had some good kids come through.
I think this year, if he manages to put a bit of beef on, the kid Chong, he's got the ability. I think Gomez has gone back a bit in my eyes, but that's my only opinion. But I think if the kid Chong gets a bit of beef on and maybe go out on loan, I think he's got something there. He's got something there which we haven't got at the moment in the first team.
I know we got him a little bit later on, but I just want to see Fosu Mensah come on. I want to see him start. I'm dying to see him start.
I feel like as well we've seen a lot this week about the manager's comments being compared to each other, like Klopp's comments on youngsters, bigging them all up, being compared to Pep's comments where he's been bigging them all up, and then Jose, who's maybe been a little bit more negative. But only one of those managers has been playing the youngsters in the last couple of years.
You know, I think is it Foden, the lad at City? He plays 7 or 8 games and that's it now. They think they've given youth a chance when they're not really. And you know, like you say, Klopp's given, I think, was it Alexander-Arnold a chance after he lost 2 fullbacks. So you know, you can criticise Mourinho and say he doesn't give youth a chance, but he's doing more than his rivals are.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, we've got John on the phone as well. I think John wants to bring it back to Anthony Martial. John, are you there, mate?
Yeah, I mean, hi guys, you okay?
Yeah, good, man.
Knackered. I want to get back from LA yesterday.
How are you, John? You okay, pal?
I'm doing all right. What about yourself?
Yeah, not bad. How's a little fellow?
Yeah, he's absolutely smashing it. Yeah,
Top man.
He's loving it.
Top man.
Oh, nice one, John. I didn't recognise it was you then, John. Good to have you on the show, mate. What did you want to talk to us about Tony today, pal?
Yeah, it was. Well, I might touch on the previous caller actually after as well, because I disagree with. We have, like Webby said, we've got some great kids coming through. But yeah, I think what you said before, it's been totally blown out of proportion. Mourinho's comments. You know, I think he's. We'll see when Martial's come back. I think, like you said, he's tweeted that he's going to be back soon, and it's a big season for him this season. If he can get a good run inside, I think you know, like the. Jay Webber was saying before, we don't want to lose him. He's a quality player, and the way he runs with that ball, it's like it's glued. He's absolutely mesmerising, and we certainly don't want to lose him. But yeah, touching on the previous caller there, and like Webby said, we've got some absolutely superb players coming through, and we luckily Alex and I managed to get in to watch a training session. Yeah, obviously. Can't talk too much about it, but they did have a game with the youngsters versus the more senior players, and they absolutely matched them. You know what I mean? Players like Timbo, like Jay mentioned, smashing it at Palace. He's now back. He looks big and strong. Him and Tuanzebe and Mitchell. You know, they offer pace, strength, youth. And then we got the cracking midfielders, Garner and Jong and Hamilton, all coming through, you know, just like McTominay has, and they can prove any single one of those can do a job. And I would love 3 or 4 of these to come through the side. We don't actually need to really look in the transfer market. I genuinely believe that. Some of these can slip in nice and easy. You know, like
John, wouldn't you try and send them out on loan, say Championship side? You know, because I'm just a bit wary about Chong, obviously with his strength. Send him out, get
Chong definitely, but Foster Mensah.
I'd love to see him with you on that one, John. Definitely.
Do you know what? You look at Fosu Mensah there. Yeah. And under Van Gaal, it was permanent fixture. He gave away a penalty against Everton at Wembley. You never seen him, and he said he was injured.
It was interesting.
Great player. My mate, a Palace fan, said he was their best defender all year.
I think it was Leroy Sané said he was. Leroy Sané said he was the toughest defender he faced last season. Yeah, and then Palace got a result against City, didn't they? Got a 0-0.
He's a big unit. Do you know what I mean? He's threatening. And I think him and Tuanzebe when they played. I really like Mitchell. He used to be a winger. He's now a wing back, and he's really got the pace. And they all link well together. These kids, you know what I mean? They've been playing at 18 and now 23 level, and I think it'd be great to see some of them. And I think those 3 that we've talked about could easily make it in. Agree, Chong possibly. You know his physique, but he's
wants to get on the Guinness room. He gets to come out a few weekends.
That's the last thing he needs. That's the last thing we want any young players at United doing. He's going out with you.
John, mate, appreciate your calling.
Top man, John. I'll see you Friday night hotel, mate.
Top man. To Alex for us.
Keep going, guys. Great show. I was
going to say hello to Alex for us as well. Nice one, John. Right, have we got anyone else on the call at the minute? I think maybe Ken, who maybe wants to talk about that man Tony again. Ken, are you there, pal?
Yeah.
Evening, Ken.
Yeah, I'm calling from Zurich, Switzerland.
From where?
Yeah, I'm calling from Switzerland, Zurich.
Switzerland,
nice.
Top man, Ken.
Top
man.
What do you want to talk to us about today, mate? Martial?
Yeah, I want to talk about Anthony Martial and the problem in Manchester, the way I see it.
Okay.
I think the problem in Manchester is about the Manchester United club itself and the supporters who do not know Mourinho.
Okay, how do you mean?
Mourinho is our manager, and we should understand who Mourinho is. Mourinho built great teams. Look how he did in Portugal. He smashed not only the Portuguese league, But the Champions League, surprisingly, we all saw what he did in Chelsea. Fergie had English football in his pocket. Mourinho broke that jinx. He went to Inter Milan. It was dominated by Juve at that time. He broke that jinx and won the Champions League. Look what he did in Madrid. It was just amazing. Mourinho doesn't play youth. He sat Pepe on the bench and played Varane, who is now a world beater. The point here I'm trying to make is place and place again. Manchester United supporters, let us know what we need. Are you ready to build a solid team, disciplined, and ready to win again, like Fergie did, or we are ready here to support what the players are doing? I mean, look at Pogba. Mourinho wants you to put your head down and play football. You are here with your haircut, all these funny stuff. Now you went to France, all those stuff away, and look at what Pogba played. Don't you think Mourinho will be happy to get Pogba at this level, playing high-class football that Manchester will win? Do you need more wins than Mourinho?
Mate,
you don't need trophies than Mourinho.
I absolutely love the passion.
Let's be straight to know what we need. Let's stop supporting these players. Give Mourinho all the support, all the money he needs. You're talking about Guardiola. Guardiola will buy 1 billion players. But look how he did. Guardiola will buy a player 50 million. The next season you are out. He buys another man, a player with a big money. Guardiola, if he had given the Manchester United chance to coach Manchester United, he would have by now spent about 1 billion.
Mate, I love it. I love the passion. Thank you very much for calling. I followed it as much as I could, but I just like the vibe of it, to be honest. Right, on the way,
Gaz, that's what we've got. Fans
Can you argue with that?
You can see the passion.
Exactly.
And he's probably never been inside Old Trafford, but you can see he's passionate about the team, and that's what I love about our club, mate.
Exactly, man. We've got Mark on the phone as well. Mark, you okay, pal?
Yeah, I'm okay. How are you guys?
Hey, Mark.
Good, Mark. Good, mate. What do you want to chat to the guys about today, then, mate?
Just a quick one, really, to you. I want your opinion. Like Webby said before, like with the biggest club in the world, which I'm obviously not going to argue with. But what worries me about Manchester United at the moment is, well, obviously the transfer activity. The fact that we're not. Like, it doesn't come across like we are the biggest club in the world when it comes to the financial side.
Mark, I'm sorry to butt in there. We are the biggest club in the world. We could outbid anybody. But for me, it looks like they're not backing the manager. Now, for me, you've got to back him or you sack him. You know, that's as simple. If you're not going to, if he's took a list of players, and like, I'm going to go back to Perisic last year. We've seen how good he was in the World Cup. We was arguing over £5 million. To buy Perisic. Inter Milan were willing to sell for 48. We would only go to 43. You look at Perisic now. If you want him now, what are you talking, Jay? 80 mil?
And he's a year older. He's not
young
lad, is he? He's 29,
so
is he now?
He says to me, we've got to back the manager or sack him. You know, it's no point.
It was the video the other day, the gentleman you had on, you know, on your page.
Ray.
Ray. And he hit the nail on the head as far as I was concerned.
He's a top man, Ray.
Legend.
Yeah, he was. When you look at the Manchester United Football Club, the thing that concerns me, if you look at some of the pundits and some people on Twitter, which you'll see, the negative people, they are going on saying that Manchester United are now the new Arsenal Football Club. And when you look at the club, the frustrating bit for me is I don't want Manchester United to go out and spend hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds. I think we do have a decent squad, but when for example, I watched that video and you think of the money that the club has got coming in and the club that's going out regarding just for transfers, it doesn't really add up. And then when you look into the future, like for example, I don't know how to put this, like Jose Mourinho, he doesn't seem happy at Manchester United. Like, he hasn't put any roots down in Manchester, so it's kind of like he's come to do a job and then wins the league and then he's going to leave. So to me, it's kind of like the club's not willing to back him, and I can agree with you on that one. It does come across like that, but why are they not willing to back him? Are they not willing to back him with the money, or do they not believe in him?
I just think if you look at our transfer policies, obviously under Ferguson, we bought a lot of young players who had that sell-on. If we watch it like Ronaldo, he seems to go for more trusted players who are the wrong side of Twitter. But for me, the players now, if you look years ago, a 30-year-old who seems coming to the end of his career, you look at Ryan Giggs, went to 40. You know, if you look after yourself, so People are saying
I think, I get what you said. The problem is Fergie can go out and he can buy a Rooney, he can buy a Ronaldo, and he can get, he can buy a Cleberson and a Djemba and Bellion. He can get it wrong. He's got the time. He earned that time, and rightly so. If Mourinho came out this transfer window and bought a load of 20-year-olds and said, give me 3 or 4 years and these will be world beaters, he'd be sacked within 6 months. He hasn't got that time and that the fans and the expectation. Hasn't got the patience. Exactly. So he goes for the Sanchez's or the Matic. He'll go for the players that are ready. And the thing is now, we're so far behind City after last season, he's got to do more of the same. We've got to get the players who can come in and right straight away.
Who've been in the Premiership 4 to 5 years now.
Get us closer to City, because we can't afford to buy an 18, 19, 20-year-old. We can do that as long as we don't expect them to go straight into the squad. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. I get what you're saying, but I think the part of the problem is when people say, we're becoming the new Arsenal, I think what the worry is, the board. People are worried. The board look at it and think, you know what? Champions League qualification, we're all right. Yeah. That's what worries a lot of the fans is, are the board just looking at it as, we'll still make enough money if we don't win a league but finish 4th. That's the problem.
That's my concern.
Well, put it
That
this
is my concern.
Yeah, that's a big worry for me as well.
Put it this way then, if we were to finish 4th this season, do you reckon Mourinho's gone?
I think so.
4th with no trophies, you think he'd be gone?
Gone.
Right?
It's not so much that. It's not so much that, lads. It's so much that we was a very, very poor second in a very, very poor Premier League.
Yeah.
With a million man, you check the Derby set of J off air before. Take that 10-minute spell out of the Derby. They could have been 4 to 5 up. We had a 10-minute spell. We scored 3. Let's not paper over the cracks. We were a very, very poor second to a very good City team. And if we were to get close to that, we had to spend or bring someone through or push us up to that market. At this moment in time, Fred, who looks half decent, I was very impressed with his performance the other night. But a 19-year-old kid who's injured and a 34-year-old goalkeeper is not going to close that gap to the team from Bezic.
I think a lot rests on Europe this season for me. I think that could be our salvation. I'm not saying we're going to win the Champions League, but I think we have a long run in that. I think the only way Mourinho's going to survive if he finishes 4th is if he say got to the semis or the final of the Champions League, and maybe.
I think we got to get a pot on board as well, Jay. So
I know. We should be winning trophies. It's about trophies. I'd rather win the League Cup than finish 4th.
Of course, you look at like last year about. Obviously, the Christmas period when we got back, City had dropped a point, and we was there. And the 3 draws over after Christmas, it was gone.
Yeah,
and it was like people getting all excited about beating City. Don't get me wrong; it's great to beat them, but with a poor second behind City, a very poor second.
Really appreciate your call, Mark. On the line
cheers,
now,
Mark.
I think we've got Asan who wants to discuss Mourinho. Asan, what do you want to talk about, pal?
Oh, hi there, guys.
Evening,
hi,
Asan.
mate. Okay.
You guys good? So basically, all I wanted to say was Mourinho is a really good manager. Don't get me wrong; he's one of the top managers in the world.
Correct.
But I don't feel like Manchester United's for him. See, we're a youth developing team. That's the thing. We've always been a youth developing team. If you look back at the class of '92 till now, we've always used our youth. And people are undermining Anthony Martial. Honestly, he's one of the world-class best youngest players in the world. And if we lose him, he's only 22. He's got potential. He might not have been in the French national team that won the World Cup, but at the same time, he should have been in that squad. Many people may disagree with me. Don't get me wrong, but he deserves to play for Manchester United. I don't see him playing for any other team.
No, I think you're right, but I think also Anthony Martial has got to come back and prove he wants to play for us. We all know he's got the ability. We've seen it. We've witnessed it. Like you said before about his debut, that sums the kid up. Yeah. But he's got to knuckle down and prove he wants to stay and fight for a place at Manchester United Football Club.
The thing is as well, you can make that case about Jesse Lingard. He deserves to start. You can make that case against Marcus Rashford. You can make that case about Alexis Sanchez. You make that case about Lukaku. That could be your attacking 4 there. So to get into that side, you have to do something special. You have to knuckle down and show what you've got. We know he's got it.
Exactly.
We've just got to see it. Because it's not like we're weak in a lot of those positions as well. There's basically 4 or 5 players fighting for 3 positions in a way. Yeah. So he's got to show us what he's got.
No, but I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. But at the end of the day, we signed Sanchez quite at the end of the season last season. Yeah. Quite near the end of the season. But we used him more than Anthony Martial. So now, I don't get why Martial hasn't been playing, because he's proven himself that he is a world-class player. If you look at the season prior to the one we just had, he was magnificent. He's banged in, 12 goals last season and 10 assists.
I think, Hassan, if he knuckles down and he gets his head on, I think he'll get plenty of game time next year. But it's down to him to prove He wants to stay and fight for the place. And if he does, he'll be in my starting 11 all week.
You know what? I agree. And I don't even think Anthony Martial's done enough, really, to be treated the way he has been a little bit. I think that the only real criticism, and it's not even a criticism, this, is maybe that he doesn't fit into a Jose Mourinho system as a winger because he doesn't track back enough, which isn't necessarily a negative. It's just an
that's
aspect.
What he likes, Jose.
Yeah, exactly. It's just an aspect of his game.
He doesn't commit to challenges. He doesn't. It is one of his
I'd love to play him. I'd love to see him down the middle with Lukaku. That'd be absolutely.
I think you're right. I think his best position probably is down the middle, but then look at Jesse Lingard's been playing there a lot, and he's having an amazing spell. So it's difficult.
And the thing about Mourinho that I wanted to also add.
Go on, Hassan. One more point. Go on.
The last thing I wanted to say was, I think Mourinho is a great manager, but if we don't win a title this season, I think it's farewell.
Bang. On that bombshell, we leave you, Hassan. Thank you very much for calling us. I think he's bang on as well. I think if we were to finish fourth this year, as the guys have said, without a trophy, I think we could say bye-bye to Jose. But we'll wait and see what happens. The transfer window shut in a week's time. I'm starting to get very nervous about it. But let's hope United can do some business before then. Guys, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thanks, guys.
Pleasure. Back next Thursday live on the radio.
Absolutely flies by this, doesn't it?
Can't wait for next Thursday.
Yeah.
Back on the radio, 6 till 7. Me, you.
Possibly.
And Joseph. Joseph McGrath gets back from Spain in one piece, or whenever he's gone.
We don't need Joe. I'll do it from now on.
Looking forward to it, and hopefully a decent season for the club.
Hopefully, mate. Right, catch us next Thursday at 6. See you there, right? Laters.